Do you struggle with meeting and dating women? Do you have a hard time finding a girlfriend that you're really attracted to? Maybe you find that women aren't that interested in you, or they don't want to date you, or if you do go on a date, maybe after the first or the second or even the third date, they're kind of like, yeah, you're a great guy, but I'm just not ready for a relationship or some other reason. And if you're tired of being in that place, I spent many years there myself, then watch this episode, because in this short episode, we're going to help you turn that around so you can have the confidence that you need to create the dating life and the relationships that you really want. Welcome to another episode of The Art of Extraordinary Confidence. I'm your host, Dr. Aziz, best-selling author and the founder of the Center for Social Confidence. And this is the show for you if you want to 10x your confidence in every area of life that matters, in dating and relationships, in your career, for your finances and your income, and your social life. Anywhere where you want to have more confidence, we got you covered. And today we're going to be looking at your dating life. And I don't know about you, but I personally struggled in this area for many years. And I had each stage was a struggle. Even just talking to women was terrifying to me, especially if I was attracted to them. And then as I overcame that, then I would be able to talk to them, but I'd just be so tense and polite and nice that they didn't really seem to want to give me their number. And then even that, if I somehow overcame that and then got on a date with them and I thought it went well, usually after one date, maybe two, she wouldn't want to hang out with me again. And she'd give me some lame excuse, and that would be the end of it. And it was incredibly frustrating. And I just was approaching the whole thing totally wrong. And you might be doing the same thing right now. And we're going to flip it all around. It's going to help you feel a lot more powerful in yourself, a lot more in control, a lot more confident, and have a lot better success with women. So before I share what to do, let me share what not to do, what I was doing, and what many men that I see out there are doing that kill their chances with women and kills their confidence. Here's what most men do. They see a woman they're attracted to, and they got all these stories about she's better than I am, she's out of my league. Why would she want to date a guy like me? Whether you consciously think that or not, if you pay attention to your attitude and how you approach her, that's probably going on. So we go into it with that kind of, oh, you're better than I am, that hesitancy. And we also have this sense of like, oh man, like I need her and I want her. Maybe she's the one. And again, we don't consciously think that, but we approach it that way. So we see her, and maybe you never even talked to her yet. And the way you're approaching it is, how do I win her over? How do I get her? Whether I want to get her into bed or I want to get her as a girlfriend or as a wife, I got to get her. And that's how we move into, the first conversation, the first date. And if you feel like you got to get her, and what are you probably going to do? You're probably going to try really hard, right? You're probably going to maybe put on your best nice guy face. You're going to put on your best clothes. You're going to try to take her out somewhere and impress her. And what happens is this ends up backfiring, because what most guys do, and this is a complaint that women have about dates, is he's trying to talk so much about how great he is. He's trying to sell himself. Like, well, I'm a good person, and I take care of my mom, and I bought her a house, and I'm a real hard worker. And it's just like, oh, dude, it's not going to work. Because you're not going to impress her by talking about yourself and how great you are. And we get nervous, and sometimes we do this. So if you're doing that, stop. Don't do that anymore. It doesn't work. And it's coming from that place of I need to get you. And here's a reason why that's not going to work. It's because on some level, she's going to have a few questions, either consciously or unconsciously. It doesn't matter. She's going to ask these questions, and she's going to want to distance herself. And she probably won't even tell you why. But here's why. Because on some level, she's thinking, this guy doesn't even know me. Why does he want me so bad? And she might think maybe he just wants me for sex. And now most women, maybe all women, don't want that. Doesn't mean they don't want to, be physical and have sex maybe sooner than you think. But to be just wanted only for their body, most women aren't into that. Like, he doesn't even know me and who I am. He just wants to use me. On some level, she might be thinking that. And also on some level, she might be going, does this guy have other options? Because there's a little bit of a hint of desperation, right? It's like, I need you. I don't even know who you are yet, but you. And, maybe you think that's romantic or something, but, only if it's two ways. And that makes for a great story. But, for the most part, you want to approach it totally differently. And when you do, my entire experience changed. Clients that I've shared this with in one-on-one and in groups and in weekends has completely transformed for them. And I want that for you too. So here's what that is when you see a woman, here's what dating really is. And it took me years to get this. You see someone over there and you're like, wow, you're drawn to her, right? She has a certain look, a certain energy, a certain style, a certain humor, something about her. And you're like, ooh, who's this person? So you're drawn to her. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the spark of life. That's the juice. That's why we're doing this, right? So you move towards her, and that's a huge step. If you're not moving towards her at all, and you can't because you're terrified, that's another topic. Watch more videos. Check out my program, 30 Days to Dating Mastery, where I guide you step by step on how to do that. Whatever it is, you got to overcome that. But then let's say you've already been able to do that. So you can move towards her, and here's how you want to approach her. You're beautiful. I'm drawn to you. And I'm curious to get to know you, see if this is actually something that I'm interested in. Because there's a lot of beautiful women out there. There's a lot of people that I could pursue. I'm looking for someone that I have a really awesome connection with, and you might want to get clear on what it is that you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for a woman who's really smart, really funny, really kind, really sweet, really into sports, whatever the things that are going to excite you and like you got to know what you're looking for. Maybe even sit down and write a list. That's incredibly valuable. What I really want. What are the things that I must have in a girlfriend? And what are the things that I don't want to have in a girlfriend? And even if you've never had a girlfriend and you're like, well, how could I be picky? Beggars can't be choosers. You got to switch all that. You got to upgrade your mindset and say, you know what? Of course I can go after what I want. And the more clear I am on what I want, the more likely I'm going to be able to get it. So maybe come up with that list. So you move towards her and you're saying, how does this feel? Because on first glance, feels great. I'm into her. I want to move closer. But then you want to say, okay, how does that first conversation go? How does that first date go? Because what you don't want to do, and this is what I did for many years, I'd see a woman, must pursue. And I remember there was one woman that I had this 4 or 5 month terrible relationship with. Just break up, get back together, break up. So much turmoil. It was a mess. And the very first conversation I had with her, so I saw her, so drawn to her, moved towards her, had a conversation, and guess what? It sucked. It was not, she was kind of weird and cold and distant. But I wasn't approaching it from this way where I was like, I don't know if I like that. That, she's beautiful, but that doesn't feel very good. Instead, I was desperate, oh man, I got to win her over. She really doesn't like me. I'll get her. And I tried even harder. So even if you do get her, might not lead to the best relationship. Certainly did in my case whenever I did that. So you want to, that doesn't feel very good. And then you go on a first date. And I did this too, made that problem. As I got more experience with this, I started to notice. I remember I went on a date with a woman. And again, I'd be drawn to a woman. She's got something about her. She's artistic. She's energetic. She's beautiful. I remember there was this one woman I was so drawn to. And we went on a date. And I remember the date, it was okay, she loves to drink. And I don't really drink. So she likes to go out to bars every weekend, 1 or 2 nights a week. I don't really do that. She was really into, I don't even know what she was into, but not the same stuff as me. And I found the conversation so boring. And I was trying so hard. And I'm a very dynamic, good, energetic conversationalist. So I'm trying to steer it to something interesting, something juicy. And it's just work and family and this and that. And, I realized that this is not for me. And I remember that was a turning point because there would have been a time in my past where I would have just tried to railroad that thing, pursue it all the way because I gotta for my own self-worth, because I don't know when another opportunity is going to come. All these reasons why we're desperate. So you got to let that go and just say, does this really feel good to me? And be willing to walk away. Be willing to, after the first date, say, well, it's great talking with you. And then just, you're done. Be willing to walk away after the first conversation. Don't ask for her number if you don't want. And that's powerful. You just want to see, does each stage, each step of the process feel good to me? And if so, I will proceed. And not only is that respecting yourself and taking care of yourself, but boom, that's a whole different psychology that you're showing up with to her, and she feels that. She feels whoa, he doesn't automatically want to get closer to me without even knowing me. He's actually really getting to know me. And on some level, it's not like, oh, just another guy who wants me. It's like, wait a minute, who's this guy? And you're different. And that is incredibly valuable in dating. So share your comments below. How is this working for you in your life? What challenges have you noticed? What experiences have you noticed? And we'd love to read the comments and get some, we can help each other with this stuff. And again, if you want to go real deep with this and get the exact guidance step by step on how to change your own inner psychology and activate your own sense of masculine power, know your strengths, know why women would want to date you in the first place, and then be able to start breaking out and do missions every day to just get comfortable talking to people anywhere, let alone attractive women, then step by step build up the confidence to go approach women in a real gradual stairwise fashion, and then really master dating. That's all contained in my program, 30 Days to Dating Mastery. I highly suggest getting started with that because that will just rocket boost your success in this area. So until we speak again, may you have the courage to be who you are and to know on a deep level that you're awesome. Talk to you soon.